Ready, start. Madam, I would like to speak on several times dealing with the various aspects of the operational side of the Indian Railways. Firstly, we have to take into consideration that after partition, the Indian Railways had to bear a great strain. A lot of disturbances did happen in the very structure of the railways, and it was with great foresight that it could be met so well. The first thing that occurs to us is about the rolling stock. The rolling stock is very important because India used to import a large number of engines and so many other things which are associated with the operational side. It is very heartening to see that today most of these things are being produced in India. Recently, I had the privilege of visiting some of these factories, especially the Chittaranjan factory, and I saw that the recent manufacture of an electric engine was something indicative of the wonderful achievement. Steam engines and diesel engines are manufactured, the latter ones Varanasi. These have gone a long way in meeting the demands of the railways sufficiently. As far as many other things connected with the electric equipment are concerned, I find that they are also produced in a large number at Bhopal, at the heavy electricals factory, which I had the privilege of visiting only the other day, and they have given a very good account of themselves. These things should augur well for future activities as far as the railways are concerned. Madam, about the amenities and so many other things concerning the second class passengers, the railways have done very well. A democratic government, as it is, has to look to the needs of the second class passengers who subscribe to the tune of 80% of the railway's revenue. Installation of fans in coaches, construction of passenger halls, and above all, the abolition of the invidious distinction about exit and entry of the passengers do speak very well of the administrative side. And apart from the amenities, the exciting thing that we see is that those people who have been working, I mean the railway staff, have also been accorded a number of facilities. At some places, it was a heartening scene to see students taking wholesome meals which were subsidized by the railway administration. These are some of the points to which I have to draw your attention. After having given my thoughts to these things, I would like to speak on certain matters which have engaged my attention currently. Madam, I feel that at this hour we have to devote our attention to saving every rupee that we can. In that context, I say that as far as construction of buildings is concerned, it should be done in the same perspective. I mean, there are stations which have been demolished, stations which could have been quite serviceable for years to come. There were some very good stations, they were quite strong ones. Some were given a new look. At this hour of energy, when we need every rupee to be saved, this has to be given serious consideration too. The second point that I would like to bring to the notice of the Honorable Minister of Railways is that as far as the narrow gauge railway lines are concerned, I have gone through some of financial aspects and I am not really happy. I feel that as early as possible the narrow gauge should be abolished because if you could save to the tune of rupees 2 crores annually and the same could be invested in converting the line into broad gauge or even meter gauge, that would be a better project. I understand that the Railway Board is also giving serious consideration to this aspect of the thing. Now, I would like to draw the attention of the Honorable Minister to a very important factor, as is the progress made in other democratic countries in the matter of our railways. Also, we should try to make it more modern. We should rationalize it and also make it modern in a manner which may compare favorably with the railways in other advanced countries of the world which have gone much ahead of us. I mean, in this connection, that our research, designs, and standards organization should be given more consideration than has been given to it so far. Madam, I can quite in this context some of the organizations working in various countries, especially in Japan, Britain, and America. Japan is one country which has gone far ahead of even many of the Western countries. Those who have seen the performance of the Japanese railways will bear me out that it is an amazing feat how the entire system has gradually been developed, how it is all more or less electrical equipment and electrical operations with manual labor employed the least, whereas we have the steam locomotive and some of the crude methods for operations on the railways. Japan has gone far ahead of us. Thanks friends watching my video. Like, share and subscribe please.